What's up, everybody? Welcome to Observe, Proceed, or welcome back, where I observe and proceed to react. And this is happening live right now, so I just had to hop on and make this video. Apparently, the SWAT team was called on a pursuit over here in Riverside County, California, and they actually tried to use a grappler in California. This is pretty wild. I mean, let's see what happened. Because look at it, as you can see right here. This looks crazy.
On their side, light is going to be, visibility is going to be very good for probably at least 2 hours, give or take. Not sure when sundown is anymore right now, but it's well after 5. So again, that's another tool right there that they were using to bust the glass there, which gives them greater visibility.
Put the smoke in there,
okay.
Smoke them out.
They're getting out the mask there for their perhaps own protection if they're going to shoot some kind of projectile that would be an irritant to the eyes, to the nose, a pepper spray of some sort. An irritant that would, if you're trapped in that vehicle or you're sitting in that vehicle,
that's insane.
You would want to get out of that vehicle right away because of that.
If there's a person in that vehicle that's alive, though, like, how do they know they're alive? Look at the car; it's destroyed. I actually want to see what happened. For the broadcast to start here, like, we got to see what happened. We need some backstory, like something. It says the grappler was deployed.
That irritant.
Let me see.
So it seems to me, if that's what's going to happen, come back onto them. So they're taking their own precautions there. Looks like this deputy either is going to take the action there with the irritant,
dead already?
Or is going to be in the wind. Wait, okay, is there movement there? Something?
Okay, there's someone in there. Okay.
Wow. Okay, there's movement there in the car. So that person is grabbing something from the back of the car. Not sure what it is they're grabbing. Not sure if they're trying to indicate
or something, man.
They'll make some move. They're gonna cooperate in any fashion. But that was the first movement I've seen in this entire standoff where you saw some movement from inside the vehicle. Now,
yeah,
it's not easy to reach back. It's a fairly decent sized car. My colleague informs me it's a Cadillac CT5. So to reach back and be able to pull something from the back there indicates that person has a little bit of mobility. Again, we are guessing that there's one person in the car, have not heard. Obviously, the pursuit earlier today, there were 2 people in the car. In that pursuit, one person died, another arrested, and that was a standoff and shootout with police.
Wow.
There, LAPD.
LAPD.
So you're here now in Riverside County,
yeah, things are
and
going
you're
crazy.
watching really
where can I find that
technology at play here with those Bearcats and the ability to not have an officer have to go in and approach that vehicle. Again, we've been dealing with this pursuit here in Jurupa Valley for 2 hours now. Not the standoff necessarily for 2 hours, but this all began 3:20 p.m. here in Southern California. We do know that lots of people watch us from around the country and elsewhere. Yes, another pursuit ending here in Southern California. The box shot you see there is our crew on the ground. Okay, some movement there, right there. Some movement there. That deputy there is maybe clearing. Okay, yeah, some kind of irritant there. Gas of some sort, perhaps. Trying to smoke out that driver. Okay, but look how it blows back.
Yeah, the
out
wind's
of the
blowing
vehicle.
it back.
If you are that deputy up there with that stick,
look at the windshield.
It can go right at you.
Car's
holding
completely
that gas mask against his face to protect from the irritant. But you can see how irritating that would be if it's coming at you. It is blowing back towards the deputy, so you have to wonder how much is going inside the car and for how long that person with no gas mask can
already got like
withstand
5
this.
stars though.
All right, Tim Lynn, our police specialist, bring us up to date here with this immediate scene right here with what that deputy has inserted into that vehicle and how it works.
It's a gas canister that is on the end of that pole that that's the tear gas, which is basically a very fine powder. You can see it's completely filled the interior of that car. If you look at the windshield, it's completely white. So it is getting a good saturation inside that car. So if the driver decides to stick with it, he's going to have to overcome that.
I mean, overcome that? He'll just die.
He's blocked from the left to get out, so he's going to have to come out that right-hand door. So they've kind of Well, looks like he might be, or just moving stuff out of the way. It's just a matter of now
back.
giving him the incentive to get out, because staying in there with that much gas is very difficult. I have seen in the past where they've used 2 to 3 different canisters into the car to get somebody out, and they stick with it. And I don't know how they do it, because I've been through the gas training where they put you in a building and set one of those off, and the first thing you want to do is get out. So how a person can be able to handle that is beyond me, but they do. Suspects have a strong will at times not to give up, and when they do things like this. But the reason they put it on the end of a pole like that is to control it so it doesn't get inside and, you know, cause a problem once it gets in on the interior. So they can hold it there, let it disperse, not come out, put another canister in if needed, and put in a second canister if this person doesn't give up. For some reason, they're not advancing on this car with shields and things of that sort. I have not heard what the actual initial want was on this vehicle, but obviously with the SWAT being called out and the speed at which the SWAT team is working here, very, very slowly, very methodically bringing in
towards the deputy who inserted it into the vehicle. But you're pretty convinced that enough would go into the vehicle that would cause a problem for the average person?
Oh, yes. I mean, you looked at it there as I explained it. It showed the window isn't gone. Just because the smoke is gone, that car is completely filled with that microfine powder. So anything in there is now contaminated. The hands, the face, they do a lot of damage, but they're not shoving a lot of mechanics back into the car.
Why would you stay in the car?
The engine isn't, there's not enough resistance there to push that engine that far back, and it does look spectacular, and the hood crumples and everything. It's what it's designed to do. But that passenger compartment usually is pretty well protected at that point. So, but you have the impact, you have the speed that he hit, and watching the video over and over and over again, watching how it just made that veering left turn and right into the wall.
Let's see that.
Not really sure what was going on there. Possibly that grapple got a hold of that left rear wheel and locked it up, but the strap did not grab onto. You watch the video here as he comes up. He attempts one try, backs off, and then as it comes up to
a different type of grapple.
On the second try, it looks like what happens here is a little contact. You see the smoke come off that left rear tire, possibly a part of that grappling net.
The grappler made him crash, bro.
Rear tire locked it up because you see a skid mark. If you watch here, you'll see a skid mark come off of it. And it's normally these tires on these new cars or brakes on these new cars will not lock up because of the ABS. So
it didn't lock it properly, and he span the car out of control.
As it comes in, you see the smoke,
right
you
into
see
the
a little
wall,
bit of a skid mark, and then boom, right on into the fence. So
that could have ended badly, man. If you know, there was people there, there was a car there, could have hit somebody. They did not deploy that right.
They're going to have to check into that to see exactly how and what happened with the grappling system. I am not really familiar with them. Their new technology coming into play with law enforcement trying to do their best to stop these pursuits in the least damaging way to where they can. That grappling is designed to go in and wrap around the wheels, and then as the unit backs off, a strap comes out and it basically tethers the car to the front of the police car, and then the police car just slows down and brings the car to a stop. But in this case, that didn't work, and unknown what happened there would cause that left rear tire to skid a little bit.
The grappler caused this
definitely
accident.
Took it off in a left-hand arc into that fence. But
meanwhile, the LAPD doesn't even want to pursue anybody
in the investigation after this is completed. But right now, we have SWAT officers who have been called to the scene, and they're going to in the left-hand corner. Yeah. But yeah, obviously that drone operator has seen this person moving around. So anyway, they back in my day, you'd just duct tape a canister on the edge of end of a pipe pole and jam it through the window. Now they've come up with these fancy extending poles. There's some reason they don't want to approach that car and bust the window out and open the door and pull him out, because they probably have information that he's either armed or there's something with the car that they don't want to put officers in harm's way.
Tim, let me welcome our viewers at 5:30 here on Fox 11 News here in Los Angeles, as we are watching still the end of a pursuit in Harupa Valley, Riverside County.
But not in
fast
a
forwarding,
crazy way,
because this
but
is live.
just trying
This
to
is still
get
going
away.
on live. I want to see what
And
happens.
what caused the crash, it was the attempted use of that grappler, causing that left rear wheel look like to lock up a little bit. But right now, everything is slowed down and just moving through and trying to get this person to give up safely.
Tim?
And it's all up to them.
Yeah.
So this was
I want
earlier.
to bring you up to speed here on this video from earlier.
This is what I want to see, too.
Around 3:30 this afternoon.
been had
This
the
is
5
more
stars.
when we picked up this pursuit in Harupa Valley. Look at all of those deputies there out of their vehicles for a standoff at a stop sign. This is where the driver initially stopped. Could have exited the vehicle right there, could have brought this to an end. We were all waiting, watching as the deputies were all out of their
Should've.
vehicles to see what happened. And, the driver just eventually would take off. We'll keep a watch on this video right now to see how this played out this afternoon. So Tim, as you're looking at all the deputies, a lot of them, they're ready for this driver to exit the vehicle. Again, we're saying failure to yield, but that's a lot of law enforcement right there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of firepower.
Any pursuit will attract a lot of officers, and especially what I see right there.
Not in L.A. It doesn't.
There must have been more to this than a failure
Riverside,
to yield. This is a very large response by these officers. You have the long guns out, as well as another armored officers back behind the area. And he stopped at this point, and now was trying to make the person's going through this thing in his mind, trying to figure out, do I give up? Do I not give up?
It's like he's waiting to get
delaying
shot.
the inevitable, and now slowly moving away.
And what is he doing?
And now it's just slowly moving away, trying not to draw fire from anybody, or just see what I can do. And before
Who's that guy
just
in the
jamming
truck?
the gas on and going.
Law
But right now
enforcement?
it looks more like a delaying technique that we've watched people do over and over again, where they stop multiple times during pursuit, taunt the officers, do whatever, and then take off. Well, this one here took off from that stop, and what happened prior
This
to
is
that,
when they
we
do
don't
the
know. We don't know
grappler.
how long.
Oh, so that happened right after.
Let's watch the
Here comes
grappler
the
move in
grappler.
there. Tim,
Grappler
let's watch
caused
the
the
grappler
accident.
move in. Again, as we talked about, newer technology. They make
not
one
work.
attempt right there. Doesn't grab onto
He
the car like
didn't
it's supposed
get
to.
under the wheel.
They're going to make another
Under the
attempt.
tire.
And it should just slowly bring that car to an end. But as you mentioned, spins off into that home right there.
Right.
With
The
that
homeowner
crash. Go
could
ahead, Tim.
sue. quite
Yeah, the
honestly.
netting that's on the front of that police unit, it's straps that are built up into
Just
a
paying
net.
for that
They're
wall.
supposed to grab or get onto the rear wheel, one side or the other, get on the rear wheel, wrap around that rear wheel, and lock it up. And at the same time, as the unit
Jeez.
backs away, it's supposed to send out, it stay tethered to the police unit as it pulls away. Indeed, is much more of a stand down, much more calm, situation under control, not concerned for their own safety.
They're up against the vehicle
Not
now.
sure if they had to pull that person from the back seat. They did.
They
from the
did?
back seat. Okay, so you wonder about the mobility. Was that person able to actually get? Hard to see with that shot here.
So
But
we missed
do
them
have our
doing that?
photographer, Joab Perez, who's on the camera giving us this visual. Joab, I'm going to just have a conversation with you and ask what you're seeing there. When
Okay,
we have,
they're going
okay,
in.
they're moving in right there, deputies there with their shields. Apparently, they're going to bring this standoff to an end if they can. They're possibly approaching the vehicle. Not quite sure how close they are per my perspective right here, but they have their shields. This is the first
What happened to
movement
the
we've
overhead
seen.
view?
Are they? They're punching a hole there. Oh, the door's open. Door's open. No. I'm sorry. They're punching a hole in the window.
Let's see. Okay, they're dragging somebody.
Okay, so the airbag deployed. They're punching a hole in that apparently, clearing the space. Obviously, they feel safe enough to move into that vehicle. Joab, you're on the camera there. What are you seeing?
Yes, we're seeing them appearing to open this window here. You can see there's a unit in front of our shot here. You can see that the door's open, so it's kind of blocking the view, but it appears that they are moving in, trying to break the door open, perhaps the window, or open this door and get this suspect out. We've been here for at least around 30 minutes, and then again, they've been very patient about doing this and trying to get this suspect out as safely as possible.
Well, Joe, we appreciate you being on the
Ain't nothing
microphone.
safe
Not normally
about
your
this.
situation. You're on the camera there for us. but arriving there on the scene to bring us this story as it's breaking here in Riverside County.
Still don't see anyone out there.
So apparently, is it the back door that's open? Can you see from your perspective if the back door's... They're going toward the front door.
He's in the front now. He really doesn't want to get out,
They're
huh?
going towards, that would be the passenger door, I believe, from where I'm at. So it appears that they're trying to get this individual out. It appears that he's quite... we don't really know his situation, if he's trapped in there. I think I've been hearing you guys say that he has looked to grab something from the back at one point, and you've seen some movement, but we're not fully aware of his mobility or her mobility at this time. So it seems that they're trying to, and you can see that they're quite, they don't look too concerned about,
They're probably hella injured, passed
they
out.
seem to be taking their time here to try to find a way to open it, but they don't seem to be guns drawn.
Right.
So perhaps it's just a matter now of getting this suspect out.
Joe, we have a perspective that's showing that the suspect is out and on the ground. That explains the posturing there of the deputies, which, as you mentioned, indeed is much more of a stand down, much more calm, situation under control, not concerned for their own safety. Not sure if they had to pull that person from the back seat.
They definitely did.
They did, from the back seat. Okay, so you wonder about the mobility. Was that person able to actually get out of that passenger door, which appears to be locked? They tried to pull it open. Now they're breaking the window to get in there.
Why is it so hard to break that window?
Not quite sure what information
they
they're trying to find or
get,
see if there's a weapon or get a driver's license or ID or something on the vehicle themselves. But obviously they want inside that vehicle. Maybe the airbag is blown there, so they couldn't really get to the door, or that person what was in the car couldn't get to the door in some fashion. But Job, go ahead. From your perspective, what you can see, how would you describe it?
Yeah, you could definitely, now knowing that the suspect is out, they definitely seem to have a different posture about it. And this is probably just more of them getting to the vehicle to take a more look at what's inside. But as for now, things seem to be much more into a different phase of this process now. Just going about getting inside the vehicle, looking at what's inside, collecting evidence, whatnot.
And we were wondering here at the studio, in that wider shot, can you see emergency personnel? Is there an ambulance nearby? Is there a medic nearby? Often you have them stage at a location that puts them at a distance, because you got to feel now for the picture what's going on the ground.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Hold on.
A lot of crime scenes. Okay, the car's pulling up. Maybe you'll get a better view here.
Right here.
And maybe that is to make room for medical personnel. All right, Joab, you got a feel now for the picture, what's going on the ground.
Yeah, see, now we have
They almost killed this guy. What did he do?
I believe some of these
Or they might have
paramedic training as well, so they're probably going to treat this suspect here, and I believe that's that suspect there on the floor.
Suspect ain't moving.
You can see the deputies have huddled around him or her. Perhaps they're going to get some treatment now.
Well, Joab, it's so interesting because we're talking with our specialist, Tim Lynn, who is talking about the SWAT team being on the scene, and there quite quickly, which makes us wonder how much information they have or had on this driver that they were deployed so quickly
Riverside is
to
savage.
be there. We were watching this at 3:20 p.m.
Wow.
So obviously they had a lot of notice and a lot of time, but for this the way it ended there at that wall, to have
this individual, and I couldn't tell. It looked like there was some. I trying to describe what I saw. It probably looked like some cuts or abrasions. It looked like there was some redness there, so that might give us some insight to
They might have killed him.
The current situation with this suspect here.
All right, well, Joe, we're gonna allow you to stay.
Looks like they went to something else.
They work incredibly hard, and it's great that women.
Man, let me see if I can get some more backstory right here. Riverside pursuit standoff. So it was a Grand Theft Auto. He stole the car. That's not even his car. I don't know if he survived. I really don't know. But I'll keep you guys updated. Please like, subscribe, hype. This is insane. Stay tuned.